What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Francisco. This is Stream Gear Talk, and today I've got another Fifine product to introduce you to because I've had a relationship with Fifine for some time now, and they've sent me a couple of mics over the last couple of years to review for them, and today we got a special microphone. It's kind of coincidental, or it's kind of a coincidence that this came my way because I've been trying to find ways to disconnect myself from the standard XLR USB microphone, such as the AM8 that you see right here. And the AM8 is a fantastic mic, by the way. That's what you're listening to right now. There is a little bit of post-processing being done, of course, but overall, for the money, this is a fantastic microphone. It's a USB XLR dynamic microphone. You can't really argue with the value that it presents, again, given the cost of the mic. And that brings me to my very next point. Fifine went ahead and sent me, for the purposes of this review, the Fifine M9, their wireless lav microphones, all right? This is right now on their website, $72.99. And for $73 plus tax, because you know Uncle Sam's got to get his cut, you get two wireless lav microphones, the receiver, the charging case, and just about any possible cable you could need in order to record with these microphones on just about any device, including your cameras and your mobile devices. In regards to the build quality of the Fifine M9 lavalier microphones, they're relatively small. And that's already a really good starting point for me because I'm not a big fan of the bigger, clunkier, chunkier wireless lav systems out there. There's some pretty good ones, but sometimes they're a little too big. And when they're that big and that clunky and chunky, when you put them on the collar of your shirt, if you put them with the body hanging on the outside of the shirt, it tends to bend your collar down, and that can mess around with the positioning of the microphone. And one thing to keep in mind is that when you're using lavalier microphones, positioning is literally everything. It is the difference between having usable audio quality and useless audio quality. The other thing to note here is that this is an all plastic build. All right, both the microphones right here are all plastic. The receiver is plastic, and the charging case is also plastic. So for $73, there's going to be sacrifices that are going to be made, right? I think build quality is obviously going to be one of the first things to get sacrificed here. But as long as you take care of your stuff, I think you're going to be fine. The other thing I do want to point out, though, is that although they are plastic, the plastic doesn't necessarily feel like super duper cheap. It feels like I paid $75, $73 for it. So it's not like awful by any means. It is not awful build quality. It's actually pretty solid build quality considering it is plastic and $73. But again, just be careful with your stuff and you should be okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fifine M9 connected to my Canon M50 directly from the receiver into the camera using the TRS to TRS cable. I've got the gain set to the medium setting. All right, so we only have low, medium, and high as far as our options are concerned with the gain on the M9 itself. Within my camera, I have it set to where I'm hitting at about 12 decibels in output signal or an output volume. And this is what it sounds like raw. No post-processing, nothing at all. I know you can hear everything going on in my room, and I'm kind of coming in here nice and clearly for the most part, right? But I wonder what this would sound like with some processing. So starting right now, what you're listening to is the Fifine M9 on the Canon M50 connected via the transmitter using the TRS to TRS cable with post-processing. And this is the best that I could possibly manage. I'm not gonna lie, look, these things are super duper lightweight. I really like that they're lightweight. Again, it just makes things a lot easier as far as positioning is concerned. But let's test out how it sounds across some other devices like my phone. All right, ladies and gents, so what you're listening to right now is my Fifine M9 connected directly into my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is a USB connection. I haven't done anything to mess with the settings at all. As far as I know, this is just a microphone signal at that mid setting of gain, and that's about it. And this is what it sounds like. So let me know in the comments below. So far, what do you think? Do you like the sound on the camera more than you like the sound on the phone? Do you like the sound on the phone more than you like the sound on the camera? I actually almost forgot to do this. What you just heard for my phone audio was raw, unprocessed, exactly how it sounds with the M9 plugged in directly to your phone. What you're listening to now is the microphone plugged into my phone, but I've gone ahead and done a little processing on the signal to see if I can get the most out of it. What do you think? How does it sound? Now, if you're the kind of creator that likes to hold your microphone like this, your lav mic, right, which it's meant to go here on your collar or on your shirt somewhere, but if you like to hold it in your hand, wow. Okay, well, that was an easy fix. Anyways, as I was saying, if you're the kind of creator that likes to hold your lavalier microphones like this in your hand and you like to create content like this, then this is what it would sound like. The big difference is that instead of having it on my collar over here underneath my chin, which is definitely affecting the coloration, the tones that you're picking up, the frequencies you're picking up, and how you're picking them up, you're bringing it here directly in front of your mouth and you're speaking directly into the capsule. Now, I wouldn't recommend, talking right into the capsule, maybe having it at an angle, a little bit below, maybe in some instances a little bit above you, but off axis, just a little bit to not just blow all your minty fresh breath into the capsule, right? But if you're that kind of creator, this is what it sounds like. No processing whatsoever, no EQ, no noise gate, no compressor, nothing at all. And with the snap of a finger, this is what the Fifine M9 sounds like, using it in this manner with some compression, with some EQ, and noise removal. Let me know what you think. How does it sound? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you hate it? Let me know. Now, another thing that comes included in the Fifine M9 package are a pair of dead cats right here. You snap them on and turn them to lock them into place. And what this does is that it helps block out a lot of wind. For example, if you're outside recording in a windy environment or in a windy location, the dead cat helps kind of diffuse some of that wind noise from popping into your microphone and popping into your audio. I just don't know why they call it a dead cat. I just got some new kittens for my daughter, so it's a little disturbing. But yeah, it's called a dead cat. Look it up. Now, the question is, how much of a difference do you notice with the microphone audio now with the dead cat on compared to before with no dead cat at all? And mind you, again, this is unprocessed audio. We're going to snap our fingers again. And now, this is the Fifine M9 with processed audio while using a dead cat. All right, so now we're outside with the Fifine M9 in my backyard. Coincidentally, it's actually a little windy right now. I got the dead cat on, got it right here on my collar. Let's see how it sounds. No processing whatsoever. And now this is the Fifine M9 with processing turned on, and I'm actually walking right into a breeze. So we're gonna see as I put this video together what it sounds like and how this microphone does in managing wind and other noise, etc. But man, it's a nice day outside. I really should go out a little bit more often than I do. But yeah, Fifine M9, this is it so far. Let's go back inside. So in regard to sound, I gotta say, I feel like the M9 sounded its best when it was connected to my Galaxy S23 Ultra. As far as how it sounded when it was connected to my Canon M50, with the raw audio, I wasn't too big of a fan. And even with the processed audio, I just don't feel like I got that same richness that I found when we ran the audio into my phone. Okay, now I'll be very fair and very honest. That could be a combination of things: the positioning of the microphone and the gain level of the preamp within the camera itself may have been too high, may have been too low. I'm not sure. I'll have to experiment a lot more to kind of understand that, but I primarily suspect that the positioning of the mic was a contributing factor as to why it sounded the way that it did on camera. It doesn't sound terrible. I just preferred the way it sounded on the phone more, which is good because chances are you're going to buy these microphones to use them on your phone to create vertical content for TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, etc. Now, there's a few more features I want to tell you about before we wrap this up. So number one, 6-hour battery life per transmitter, and it takes about an hour and a half to charge them back up to full. You've got a 120-foot range between the transmitter and the receiver, so you've got a lot of room to play with, especially if you're somebody making content outdoors, for example. All right. And number three, probably the coolest and most beneficial feature besides the ability to capture audio that the M9 offers for its users is the ability to do mono and stereo. So to kind of simplify that, what that means is that if you're using both transmitters, maybe you're doing an interview and you are a fairly well-projected vocal person who speaks loudly and clearly, and the subject that you're interviewing is more soft-spoken, you're able to assign one transmitter to the left channel, the other transmitter to the right channel, and when you upload that footage and that audio into your video editor of choice,
you're going to be able to independently post-process each transmitter's audio, as opposed to both transmitters feeding into one singular channel, and now you're stuck with someone who's soft-spoken, you can barely hear, and rendering that footage useless. Or you could jack up the gain in post-processing and make yourself even louder just to get the quieter person to be louder. So the ability to do that and to split the two across left and right channels and independently process each one of them, I think is fantastic. And all of this at $73. That's a steal. It's an absolute steal. So if you've been looking for a wireless lav microphone system at a great price with some pretty solid features, awesome battery life, great range, yeah, the Fifine M9 is it. I don't know what else to tell you. So until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Peace out.